the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome in to the Thursday edition of the PJ Show as we're up and running here on this, what is it? It's the 21st day of August. 21st day of August. We are getting close to the 6-year anniversary of the Patrick Johnson Show, 7-year anniversary of the Patrick Johnson Show. How about that?
Do it live!
And that's what we're doing today.
Do it live!
Absolutely. Tomorrow on these very airwaves, we'll have our normal sports programming with I Go at noon. Yours truly at 5 o'clock. Chris Hughes from Carolina Preps will join us to kind of run down the Pitt County schools in the with the high school football season starting. And then tomorrow night at right before 7 o'clock, we'll be on the air here on 94.3 The Game with Rose football as they take on Northern Ash. Should be a game, one of probably the games of the night for week one, involving a couple of teams that have lofty goals for the season ahead in this new 8 classification madness. So that is going on tomorrow night, 94.3 The Game, the IBX Media app, and 94.3thegame.com as Stephen Walter and myself will have the call of Rose and Northern Ash from Red Oak. Also, coming up tonight on our sister station, 103.7 WTIB in Greenville and beyond, it'll be Panthers football. I guess that'll be gypped, the coverage of that, Pilk?
Yeah, so the Jim Taunton Show, financially speaking, will be from 6 to 6:30, and then we will join the pregame show live at 6:30 with Jim, I guess. Yeah, because Anish will be. He doesn't do the.
We'll be gypping it. In other words, we'll be gypping it. Okay, and then you can listen to the game tonight. We'll get into some of that. 5 things at 5 coming up in just a bit. A week from tonight, the Pirates open the season against NC State. So let's talk about some of that and more with the top 5. By the way, Joe Giglio today. I knew I was forgetting something. James's dad, Joe Giglio, the great Joe Giglio from the OG podcast. And don't forget, they'll have the sports podcast event coming up this weekend in Raleigh at the Rialto Theater in the 5 Points neighborhood, the Midtown region of Raleigh. You can go to the Rialto's website and get tickets to that event. 3 great sports podcasts, including the OG podcast with Giglio and Ovius. All right, and Joe Giglio on today to talk about that and more. All right, Pilk, let's do it. Let's hit it.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Top 5 stories today.
That would be the number one.
Yep, the number one.
Number 1 right now, East Carolina Soccer playing their 3rd game of the season. First road game against Richmond. Actually, I say right now, but unlike European soccer, I guess American soccer doesn't really start at the top of the hour. They are just now walking out to the pitch for their first. I think it's going to be like a 5:04, 5:05 first kick there. But that is on ESPN+. So, while you're listening to us, and don't watch videos in your car, but when you're listening to us at home on the IBX Media app, you can also watch some ECU football.
The women's soccer team back in action tonight, so we'll see if they can break through and get their first win, 0-1-1. And they're playing at Liberty, is that what you said, or where are they playing
Richmond.
tonight? Richmond?
Yeah.
Richmond, okay. All right. All right, very good. Best of luck to them.
Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a banner race today.
I love a banner raising.
Banner raising. This is moving on from soccer. Outside the football stadium, and the banner had 3 former Pirate players on it, and the Bill Clark Holmes sponsor. However, it did not say Bill Clark Holmes. It said Bill Chark Holmes, or I don't know. There was no L in Clark, whatever that would be. Clark Holmes.
Thankfully, there's a missing letter.
Yeah.
And now I've been told this is being remedied. They're fixing it. Thankfully, they didn't have totally wrong letters in that word, and It could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. As one of my buddies
could've
put
been.
it to me.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
Could have been
but
worse. Could have
it's
been
just,
worse.
what I don't get those, like, how did nobody caught it when they took it out of the box? Like, how'd you actually get it? They, like, got it halfway up, and they like you've seen the picture. They're like, oh man, it's halfway up. Oh, this is not right. Oops.
Well, Pilk, you can't spell.
I cannot.
You're one of the worst spellers in the history of
Absolutely,
of
and that's why I don't get in charge of any spelling things. I delegate
Right.
that. Good leader delegates things. I let William spell things.
a
Or Isaac.
small PR snafu. But and look, for many, many, many moons, the complaint has been you walk into Dowdy Ficklen Stadium and you would have no idea of the success of ECU football historically.
Yeah.
There was nothing about any of the bowl games. There was nothing about any of the All-Americans, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that has since kind of changed. But there was really no lineage to let you know how many Pirates were in the pros. This has some all-time greats on the banner. And they're putting it. And it'll also give kind of a, kind of more of a closed-in feeling underneath in a way.
Yeah.
As well.
It's a lot like, as you didn't see, it's a lot like the baseball banner they've got out now. It's got Jeff Hoffman, Alec Burleson, and Gavin Williams, I think.
But it's an acknowledgement. This was on the South Stands, I believe.
Yep.
That is an acknowledgement of Pirates in the pros. And I think but that has been the long time thing of letter winners is you have no way of knowing the successes of ECU football because there's nothing really in the stadium that would indicate that or around the stadium.
Just like on the basketball arena, we don't have our retired jerseys hung anywhere.
Sure don't.
Nope.
Sure don't. So, look, speaking of basketball, with the women's basketball banner, didn't something get stuck a few years ago?
Yeah. Demetrius, were you there? I know my mom was on the team at the point. That's okay. I know he went to a lot of the women's games because I didn't know if you know this, but Demetrius, our intern, is Mai's cousin.
You told me that. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if I told you that. So, but anyways, it got stuck. Like there was one string that didn't get cut, and like half the banner came down, and the other half didn't. And I wasn't there. We were doing the Sup Dog show that day, so Io and I were over there, and then our phones started blowing up. I think you and Dom might have been on air still at that point. And for your show,
what is really so we need to get our banner stuff figured out. That's what I say. Let's figure out the banner stuff. We haven't had a lot of luck with it. Maybe we need more banners.
That's the thing.
Maybe
We got to
that's
start
what we
winning
need.
banners. Hey, we want a soccer banner. That I heard that is in. They've not put it up yet. I think it's maybe going to be put up this week. Don't quote me on that, but it did come in late last week, so they are going to put up the soccer banner for them winning their first conference championship last year.
Exciting. All right.
Door number 3.
Well, Jimmy Buffett. All right, door number
There we go.
3. Yeah.
Number 3, during the Pirate lunch yesterday, the kickoff lunch, it was announced they have implemented a new system where you can pledge money to the Pirate Club for every touchdown scored. So what you do is you go in and say you're going to pay $20 for any Pirate touchdown that is scored this year. It automatically drafts it out of your account on Tuesday after the game, and it goes directly to revenue sharing and the Pirate Club and all that tied in together. So to help us retain and grow our talent. So kind of the same system with Carter Cunningham. And, when you donated to the Children's Hospital via the every time Carter or whoever your favorite
Home Run
Pirate
for
was hit
Heroes
home run for Heroes. Yeah. So very much the same there. So new kind of fun way to donate to the Pirate Club and the revenue sharing. But, some weeks you might donate more than others. Hopefully if you do it, you're donating a lot because hopefully there's a lot of touchdowns scored.
Clever fundraising hook. And that also can tie to the excitement of the team scoring points and fan excitement about the season ahead. So I like it. Good plan.
I think it's a great marketing tool. I think whoever thought about this, kudos to
Pretty
you.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Pretty brilliant. All right, what do we got now?
444.
Number 4.
Longtime president of Charlotte Motor Speedway, Humpty Wheeler, passed away.
Is it
was
Humpty
announced.
or Humpy?
Humpty.
You said Humpty.
Yeah, it's Humpty Wheeler, right?
Like the Humpty dance
Yeah. Like
is your chance to do the hump. I thought
Yeah.
it was Humpy Wheeler without the T.
Oh, I don't know.
Humpy Wheeler,
Oh.
Mr. NASCAR.
He was the president when I was very young. I didn't know the truth.
Mr.
I know.
Motorsports NASCAR. You're getting on me. about a
Russian hockey player.
a Russian hockey player. Russia. You're getting on me about that. The Russian hoax. And you, Mr. NASCAR.
Yeah, you're right. It's Humpy Wheeler.
Humpty, not
H-U-M-P.
Humpty.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that.
A good producer would bet us out with the Humpty dance. Just saying.
What is the
Just
Humpty
saying.
dance? What is that? I don't even know what that is.
If you heard the Humpty dance by Digital
Demetrius
Underground,
is lying, or not
no,
lying.
he
He's
would know.
laughing
But
at me.
Dimitri knows what it is because he's old like I am, so he would know.
He's like,
He
all right, I
knows.
will find it on the YouTube. It's called the Humpy dance.
The Humpty dance.
All right,
Radio edit.
all right.
Want to do that? Look. Not only was he the great promoter, the man who helped turn Charlotte Motor Speedway into the crown jewel of NASCAR, which basically Charlotte, despite all of the changes in NASCAR, despite all of the evolution in the sport, for good or bad, it is the epicenter of the sport. It is the headquarters of the sport. It's where the Hall of Fame is. Charlotte is. So he's certainly a great showman, left his mark on the sport. The P.T. Barnum of NASCAR, always thinking bigger, and we would not have Charlotte Motor Speedway or even NASCAR what it is without Humpy Wheeler's
No, we wouldn't. I mean,
forethought.
To do a 600-mile race, Memorial Day weekend, to do the one hot night, first
Still my
race
favorite
under the
race.
lights.
That's
other
my
than
favorite race every year. I love that race.
The All-Star race or the 600?
The 600. I love the 600. The 600 is the best race in NASCAR. You can have your Daytona. I know Daytona's Daytona. But to me, the quintessential race, the quintessential American race is the 600. I just think it's fantastic.
Yeah, because a lot of guys, I think, don't do a good job enough taking care of their equipment. You got to take care of your equipment. You got to have endurance as a driver, but your equipment has got to have some endurance too. I mean, and you think back in the old days when cars really did fail. I mean, there'd be guys leading the race, and then their car would quit, 400 miles in or whatever. I mean, first 600 there ever, the dude punctured his fuel tank. He was up by 8 laps over the field, punctured his fuel tank, and had to pull out. And the rumor is he sat on the pit road wall, lit a cigarette, and cried. I don't know if that's true, but he really did puncture his fuel tank.
So you know this rando story where you're accusing a grown man of having tears, but you don't know the difference between Humpty and Humpy.
Hey, man, I was not good at English. I know the 8 laps because it's a number, right? Math. I was good at math, and you're asking me to spell things and read things, and an illiterate pilk is just not literate.
I don't get it, and you talk for a living. All right. Number 5.
Number 5, Carolina Panthers closed the preseason tonight at home against the Steelers. Coach Canales has said this is the guys fighting for the final few roster spots and practice squad. The top 2 quarterbacks, Bryce Young and Andy Dalton, will not see time. Jack Plummer and recently signed Bryce Perkins are expected to split the reps behind center. Can't say under center anymore. Too much shotgun. Behind center for the Carolina
Plummer
Panthers.
and Perkins. Okay. So obviously the Panthers are protecting the top 2 quarterbacks. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean,
why
I don't think
wouldn't you?
anybody's going to play any of their starters this last week. You never know a team like New Orleans who hasn't named a starter, but
right. Do you believe we're getting a look at? I mean, we're not really going to get a look at Canales' offense until Jacksonville week 1, right?
yeah,
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's been very vanilla. I'm sure they probably showed a little more last week in joint practices that were closed, especially against a team that you're not going to see in the regular season in Houston. At least I don't think we play them. Drawing a blank.
No, I don't think they're playing Houston this year. I don't think they are.
The only reason why I even second guess this because we're playing Jacksonville, and I think that's that weird 17th game. Because normally, if you play one AFC team, you play that whole division. But they had to because we play the AFC East. They play the entire AFC East. But they had to.
But you had to add that game to make the 17th
game. Yeah, it messes with people. Said 17's an odd number.
How soon does it go to 18, Pilk?
2027 is my guess. I think they announce it next year. And they can't do it right off the jump because of logistics with the Super Bowl and everything. And, you don't want to step on the toes of the Daytona 500. So I think that's the only reason they haven't yet. They got to still figure out the logistics of having the Super Bowl. I don't know if they move it up to the first week of college football and they have the same week 1. I don't really know how they do this.
See, I think that's what they do because they have certainly shown the when it comes to things like Christmas Day with which was the NBA day. They don't give a damn about that. They now put games on Christmas Day. Like as a thing, not as, oh, it's Sunday, it's Christmas Day, we're going to play our normal No. We're actually playing special games on Christmas Day. They've taken over Thursday night. They basically have ripped that away from college football. During the college football playoff last year, they didn't give any consideration to that. They were playing, was it playoff games or just regular regular season games? Nonetheless,
regular
whatever
season,
it was,
like Saturday night games in the middle of the college football playoff. They just don't care. So heck, they might start the Super Bowl 1 week later and start it right at 3:00 and just run at the same time as the Daytona 500. It's probably what they're going to do. They clearly don't
think
care.
They'll run it at the same time.
I
as
know.
Daytona ought to run on Saturday.
Yeah, but it's so tough for people. I mean, kids have got sporting events. It's always been Sunday, man. I say it's President's Day. We can run Daytona Monday morning on President's Day and run the Super Bowl the night before. So everybody gets President's Day off. You wake up and you watch Daytona.
NASCAR would never they'd go for Saturday, I think, before they'd go for a Monday morning race.
Yeah, they might be. Yeah, I guess it'd have to be Saturday during the day, though. I don't know if you want to do Saturday night that early in the season. Of course, they're going to Watkins Glen, and they're going to Watkins Glen in early May this year, earliest they've ever gone. They say on the date in which they're running it this year, it was 43 degrees this past year.
Well, it's snow.
No, that's the thing. I heard a lot of people from New York complaining about the date because they said that's when all the snow's melting and they have this mud issue there. Like a lot of the campgrounds that are around the track where people just normally camp for normal even camping because it's a camping area, doesn't even open until Memorial Day weekend because the mud is so bad. Also, it's at a burn ban time of the year, so you can't have a campfire. And they just randomly decided to plop this NASCAR race up 2 months from when it normally is, 3 months from when it normally is.
People, I tell you what, these leagues, these organizations, they care less and less and less about the fans.
I know.
They really don't care about the fans.
It doesn't make sense. And then another gentleman said, who was from the Richmond area, said, they used to run that weekend at Richmond that they're running Watkins Glen, but pretty much the dates have flopped. He's like, why don't we just flop them back? Because the people in Richmond have no problem going at the end of April, early May, and then just give Watkins Glen their August, date.
Where it's warm.
Yeah.
Warmer,
yeah.
Warmer than, well, it's pretty warm up there.
Upstate New York, you don't know. I mean, like I said, this year on the date they're going to run, it was 43. In August.
Well, I'm talking about August. In August,
it's
in August, it's fine. So why not do that? That makes no sense.
Great time to be in upstate New York.
With Jones starting with the announcement of Jones starting for Indianapolis, are they tanking? They're tanking, aren't they?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to tank either way, but I don't think that Jones is supposed to. I mean, Richardson's the tank option. I mean, right now, Richardson, he might just quit during a drive. I think it's the fact that, that Danny Dimes at least going to go out there and try. Richardson's got more talent.
I know, but they're tanking for Manning.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But then I'm like you. Yeah, Richardson's more talented, but he's between the years. I don't know if it's all there.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is going to give you the old college try.
He will. Cutcliffe instilled and I'm sure the young man had a great work ethic anyways, but, I mean, Cutcliffe taught him how to play football. The guy knows how to play. It's just a question of the talent with him. Richardson, it's the opposite. It's like the talent's there, but does he know what the heck's going on, or does he care to win, or is he just there to collect a paycheck? You don't know. I mean, like I said, he quit literally mid-game last year.
I remember this is my Henry Hinton moment of the story. Story time with Henry, where I tell you something that happened not quite 40 years ago because I would have been 2. But, I did call the game where they played in the Daniel Jones played in the championship in high school for the independent schools out in Charlotte. And I thought they'd said, this kid's going to the Ivy League. Okay, kid's going to the Ivy League. Every time you're told a high school football player is going to the Ivy League, majority of the time, they're not the most physically impressive person. But this quarterback was huge, and he had a great arm, and he was accurate. He played great, and I thought, Ivy League, this kid must just want to be a doctor or a senator or something. That has nothing to do with football because – and then all of a sudden, late in the process, He switches to Duke.
Yeah.
And then at Duke, he was always decent, but then it's like the last year he was there, he moved up everybody's draft board.
Yeah, I always said when he was there, he was between the years was the most NFL ready quarterback. Does that mean you're going to be the most successful? Absolutely not. I still think he was drafted a little high, but like I said, Cutcliffe made them huddle, and he called 2 plays, and he got the chance to go with the first or can it the same way an NFL offense did. He didn't have 14 backup quarterbacks on the sidelines playing, head, shoulders, knees, and toes over there, and signaling in a play, and then him just saying set hut and throwing the ball to the first read like other college quarterbacks at every program in the country who are babied.
I think Russell Henley's just opened things up. He rolled a couple birds on the last 2 holes down in Atlanta.
There you go.
So he should be 9 under now. Yeah,
9 under on the first day because they're not doing the different. Everybody started even, right?
They're not stacking it now. You got a chance 1 through 30. Yeah, he's 9 under, 3 shots clear of his next closest pursuers.
Are they doing it where? So
No.
So even though whoever's first in the FedEx Cup, do they stand the best chance to win still? Is it like
No.
the old school way, or everybody? It's like NASCAR now. Like everybody
Every man for himself.
Okay.
Every man for himself.
Wow.
Scotty Scheffler just rolled in a par putt on 16, so he's 4 back. How far back does Scotty have to be to not win it?
That's what I was asking. So that's
He's
what I'm
got
saying.
2 holes to play. No. I'm talking about Scheffler's going to chase him down. How far back is Scheffler got to? He's 4 shots back with 2 to play here in round 1.
How many shots do you have to be after round 1?
Just how many shots? What lead is safe from Scotty Scheffler?
At what point in the tournament, though?
Well, let's say after today.
After today?
Let's say after today, yeah.
There is no. There's 3 rounds left. There's no answer. You'd have to be up by 15
He'd have to be trailing you by 10 shots.
Yeah.
After the first round.
Yeah, he could be down 4 or 5 going into Sunday and win the tournament.
That's true. All right, you got the song queued up, Pilk? I'm sure you've heard this
clean
before.
version. I probably have.
In your clubbing days. You've heard this.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Not Humpty Wheeler, Humpy Wheeler, not Humpty, like the Humpty Dance. Mr. NASCAR. All right, we're going to talk to the great Joe Giglio from the OG Podcast. Our first interview and conversation with Giglio here of the new season of the Patrick Johnson Show. So stay tuned. We'll have it for you right after these words.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. 2 real burgers, better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Oh, look who's back reporting for duty.
You got here just in time.
Holy nuts, man.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Patrick Johnson Show has learned that 1 week from tonight, East Carolina will open the football season at NC State. Here to talk about it, our friend from the OG Podcast. He'll be part of the Triangle Sports Podcast Festival, which is coming up Saturday at the Rialto Theater in 5 Points. The great Joe Giglio makes his triumphant return to the Patrick Johnson Show for the new season. Hello, Joe. How are you?
Patrick, how are you? Appreciate the plug for the Sports Podcast Festival. Go get your tickets at therialto.com.
The great Hayes Permar will be the most affable host. You'll get to see Dimitri. You'll have lots of laughs, but you'll get to see Joe and others, the Scar brothers. There'll be plenty of people there at that. And we talked to the guy last week, Pilk, did we not, from one of the other podcasts. So it was pretty good. Now, a lot of people will know Joe as James Giglio's father, who, of course, is of Hoist the Colors fame with Stephen Igo. Did he enjoy that experience? Was he like itching to get back and get to work with Igo in the fall?
Yeah, James has an interest in the media business, but I think his first year he was like, man, ECU football, yikes. And then obviously basketball is like a lost season, if you will. And then baseball, he was like, wow, oh my gosh, ECU's amazing at baseball. And I think it really kind of hit him. And I think he really enjoyed baseball that first year. And then last year he did more with football, did more with basketball. And then obviously the regular season wasn't great for ECU baseball, but Cliff and the crew had it rolling again there by the American Athletic Conference Tournament. And then obviously a very eventful stop in Conway in Coastal Carolina for the NCAA tournament. So he has thoroughly enjoyed his time, and Igo has been a great mentor to him.
It's hard to believe he's a junior. For some reason, I thought he was just a plucky upstart freshman, but he's a junior, that Giglio child.
I know.
So.
Time doesn't stand still for any of us.
Can't stop progress. All right, the Wolfpack. I want to talk to you a little bit about NC State, Joe. Our friend Phil Steele, who we had on last week, feels like they could be one of the most improved teams. Yet I read something else over the weekend that's like, if this, and this don't go well, this could actually be a year where they might not win as many games as they did last year. How do you see it?
I think their schedule is significantly more difficult than it was last year. I do think their offense has a chance to be better this year, if for no other reason, that their quarterback should stay the same, assuming that CJ Bailey can stay healthy. I do think they have good skill players on offense. Hollywood Smothers, Justin Jolie, Noah Rogers. I think these are all guys who could have big years for NC State. I have major questions about their defense, though. They have a new coordinator, DJ Elliott. I also think they're going to have a different scheme I think you'll probably see them play a little bit more of a four-man front. Tony Gibson had tremendous success with NC State and their defense. He's now the head coach at Marshall. And I think that kind of concept of the 3-3 stack, ECU fans kind of know it well, in the sense that you don't pop a 76-yard run to win a game on a play you're basically trying to just – I don't even know what ECU was trying to do on the play that they won the game on. To be perfectly honest with you, it was third and forever.
Well, I think they were just trying to create some room to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, maybe for fourth down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are the kind of plays that a 3-3 stack can get you in a misalignment. And all of a sudden, if one guy doesn't make the tackle, then you're up the creek. So I think some of that could help. But, quite frankly, Patrick, they don't have difference makers on defense. And I think that's kind of the problem. That was the problem last year. Mm-hmm. And I think it could be a bigger problem this year. And then the way that it's set up, obviously with ECU in the opener, Dave's record is tremendous against group of 5 teams, but he has lost to ECU. And even when he didn't in 22 up there, it felt like a loss. So it's just one of those games where you look at it and you go, there's not many times an ACC team will open up the season and you think, they could lose this game at home. And I think there is that thought going into next Thursday night's game.
Joe Giglio, OG Podcast, joining us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. So, is there any heat on Dave Doeren? That's probably just the best way to ask it. Is there any kind of heat on him going into this year?
No, we had an amazing conversation with Dave in Charlotte, and you've interacted with Dave enough to know media stuff is not his favorite thing. And I literally called someone who's friends with him, and I said, I just had my first good interview with Dave in 13 years down in Charlotte. And it wasn't meant as an insult, and it wasn't meant as a joke. Last year was really tough for him in the sense that this whole thing has changed. This whole model of college football has changed. I don't know how much you've talked to Mike Houston since, he was fired at ECU. I mean, just from my secondhand knowledge of what he has said, it's very similar to what Dave has gone through, in that you came up in a sport in a way that you want to have relationships with players. You want to develop players. You want, to see people come in at 18 and leave as a grown-ass man when they leave your program, whether they make the NFL or whether they go on to do anything else. And I think last year really was a challenge, starting with the Grayson McCall injury. Patrick,
Mm-hmm.
That's the scariest thing I've ever seen. I'm 50 years old. My dad literally took me to football games when I was in diapers. And that is the single scariest thing I've ever seen during a football game, in person, on TV, in my life. And I know those are the kind of things that can shake you as a coach and as a person who really does care about his players the way that Dave does. Then you add in, it's not so much that the players are getting paid. It's a classic example. Like, you never know. You see this in the NBA all the time. And you're like, wait a second, where was that fire? Where was that, urgency that you played with before you got the money? I think Kevin Concepcion, their state, all-purpose slot guy, I think he got paid and he got fat and happy, if you will, metaphorically speaking. And I think that's a big, that you have a guy who's your high player not contributing and not helping the team in the way that he needed to the point where I think he really was. I think he was a negative for them. And then, of course, they paid a bunch of money to get Grayson McCall. He gets hurt after 3 or 4 games. I thought they did a good job to pivot to C.J. Bailey, a true freshman, get him ready to play the way that he did. Obviously, you end the season with the win over Carolina, which is always, going to be something that State fans celebrate. But I think the bowl game kind of put a sour note on the season. And State fans are now trained to not really judge anything from the bowl game because a lot of players don't play in the bowl game. But I think the way that they were nonchalant in their approach to ECU, to the point of making the comment about not being our rival and this and that, it was almost like the way Carolina treats NC State. And it's like, of all the things that you should know, especially of the results of the State-Carolina game, you can't underestimate your in-state opponent and you can't give them fuel for the fire. I thought ECU showed out in a way in that game where they were like, there was a little bit of, I won't use my podcast language here. There was a little bit of, hey, forget you. I'm going to beat you. And you saw a lot of that in those fights too. I mean, they were getting after it. So I'm looking forward to next Thursday, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it's going to be a really good game.
No, I think so too. We'll get into some of that in a little bit. But what I wanted to ask you about, Doran, you brought up the North Carolina
Patrick,
thing.
my bad. Patrick, my bad. The interview with Dave in Charlotte was really, really good because he said he was very honest. I am on a year-to-year basis now, and he struggled with the way a lot of the players left in the portal last year. One in particular was their starting cornerback named Brandon Cisse. Okay, Brandon was a 2-star kid who got no offers out of college. Comes in, starts as a true freshman, played really well. Brandon was like their Jalen Samuels, was their Bradley Chubb, their Garrett Bradbury, the unknown kind of recruit who they were able to develop and turn into an All-American, turn into an NFL player. And when Brandon left to go to South Carolina for $1 million, it was like, hold up. Now, not only do I have to go and find these diamonds in the rough, I got to pay them, an exorbitant amount to keep them so that they develop when no one else wanted them. And he was very, very honest about how that played out. And he was very, very honest about how he does not like the transactional nature of college football. And that's why he's kind of on this year-to-year situation where he's saying, I want to have a relationship. I want to kind of to be the way that it used to be. And obviously we all know you can't turn back the clock there.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up and add to what I was going to. I mean, you look at all that's happened since, in the last year. ECU beats them in the bowl game. And, regardless of who you root for, all the fights and all, it was just embarrassing for institutionally both. North Carolina has made the splashiest of splashiest hires in Belichick. Will Wade has been hired, who is embracing the transactional nature of sports as the basketball coach there. So there's a lot of excitement around basketball. I just get the sense that you're dealing with a relic. It's been there 13 years. They got, 3 bowl wins in that time? I mean, just 40 some odd years since a football championship. I mean, familiarity breeds contempt. And I just wonder, regardless of the outcome in a week, if we're watching the end of the line here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I came away from that conversation with him in Charlotte saying, I really do believe this will be his final year. I do. And I think part of it is, I think he wanted to walk away a couple years ago. I brought this up with him in our interview, and I would encourage everyone to go to YouTube, Ovius and Giglio, and really find this episode, because just do a search for Ovius and Giglio and Doran. He said to me 10 years ago, I can't wait to be retired at a bait shop when I'm 55 years old and second guessing everything that you do. And I reminded him of that, and he kind of laughed, and he said, that bait shop looks pretty good right now. So I think
he's made money.
I think you're
probably
onto something
saved
there.
it. Yeah.
Oh, generational money. And he doesn't splash it around. He's got a lake house that he enjoys. He loves to fish. He probably will go work at a bait shop legitimately. His kids are all grown right now. Some of his boys are still in college, but I just think he's out. And and you mentioned the bowl wins as a little bit of a knock. I get that. He is the winningest coach in NC State history, and I was told in 2022 he would have walked away with that record and maybe a 10-win season. Maybe you play in the ACC championship game the year they went to ECU, ranked whatever they were. And obviously that season did not play out the way that anybody had wanted it to. And I think that kind of reset his clock a little bit in his own mind. But he even mentioned to me in our interview, he's like, look, my dad died of Alzheimer's. He retired at 65 and then did not get to enjoy his retirement at all because he completely lost basically all of his memory. And it was a miserable experience. And he just doesn't want to do that. And so I think he's kind of motivated in a different way than, maybe Blake Harrell or even Bill Belichick at this point.
Yeah. What's interesting is, to to put it back on the game, there's questions coming in for both sides defensively. So I just wonder, Bailey and then Hauser, a couple of guys that came back, they're matching up again after matching up in the bowl game. To me, those are the guys that stand to have the biggest imprint on the game a week from tonight.
Yeah, I think Hauser was a key difference up in Annapolis.
Yeah.
Don't my stats might be off, but he ran for more touchdowns in that game than I think he had all year, or he ran for more yards in that game than he might have had all year.
Yeah, it was the first time he ran. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, he had not run a whole lot.
I thought he was super effective. I thought he was. He made great decisions. I think he put him in the right spots. That being said, you bring a guy to the ground on 3rd and 100, and ECU's offseason feels a whole lot different than it did, and that's a credit to ECU and the running back who made the unbelievable play. But it's just kind of interesting to see how it works out. Bailey is the key to their whole season. CJ Bailey is the key to NC State's whole season. I think it's weird because if he's really, really good, he's probably Ohio State's quarterback next year. I mean, that's kind of the reality of it right now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know, but Ohio State's outstanding receiver, Jeremiah Smith, is his high school teammate. And I mean, it was a bit of a miracle that Miami didn't come back and get him. He's from Miami. I'm a little bit surprised at that, but he's the highest paid player on NC State's payroll this year, and they made him a priority. And we'll see what kind of year that he has. I think he could be very good for them. They have a new offense coordinator, but the thing we've learned in 13 years it goes back to Dave and how aggressive that he wants to be in what he does. And you think back to the 4 plays that they tried to run against ECU when the goal line stand in that game in 22. And you have a pretty good idea sometimes that there is a little bit of a lack of creativity when it comes to NC State's play calling.
All right. Check out Joe Giglio and the Ovius and Giglio podcast. You can check it out, YouTube, wherever you download your podcast to listen. Same place you download ours and listen as well. Sans the IBX Media app. And don't forget, coming up on Saturday, it is at the Rialto in 5 Points in Raleigh, the Sports Podcast Festival. It'll be Big Screen Sports at 7:10, followed by Ovius and Giglio at 8:30, and then late night for the late night crowd, the Sports Zone Duo. That's the one I could not remember when we had Alex on last week. All right, Joe, I'm sure we'll talk to you again really, really soon, but it's good to catch up with you. I'm looking forward to the game next week. And looking forward to talking ball with you over the next several months and twisting your arm to be on our little radio clubhouse here.
Anytime, buddy. And next time I'll make sure I'm in the studio for you.
No problem. The great Joe Giglio with us here. Great to hear from him. 1 week from tonight, it is ECU and NC State. Giglio, I'm sure, will be there. All right, time out. Come back. We'll have more Patrick Johnson show on this what's turned into a really nice day here where I am, at least. So stay tuned. More to come.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
At Parker's Barbecue, our family has been serving your family for 3 generations.
For that, we say thank you.
Blessing families every Thursday. Kids eat free all day. That's the Parker's way.
Legendary food served from our 3 locations. Always quick, always delicious. That's the Parker's way.
At Parker's, our mission is to impact our customers through Christ-like service in a way that feeds them both physically and spiritually. That is the Parker's way.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Well, shout out. Happy birthday to my guy, Gino Kennedy. All right, let's have some more of our media day interviews with the football team, shall we? We have the Caton Hauser interview queued up, Pilk.
Ready to go.
All right, who sat down with him?
Dom.
Whoa! All right, the great Dom Kasulki and Caton Hauser.
All right. So I'm sure you're asked this a lot, but how does it feel knowing you're the guy going into the year, in the offseason, prepping for being the QB1?
Yeah, I'm just settled in. I don't have to look over my shoulder. Don't have to compete with somebody every day. That's kind of nice. And just being able to compete against myself, really. Just trying to do better than how I did yesterday and the day before that. So as long as I improve every single day, I feel like I'm in a really good spot. And especially just with these new same coaches coming in and returning players, I just feel like we're in a really good spot on offense.
And then after the NC State Bowl game, does it have any impact on how you approach the game, knowing that they just saw you in their previous game? Is there a different mindset to it?
I mean, obviously there's intensity and stuff that goes along with it. There's a lot of animosity, but you can't really look too much into that. For me, it's just another game. So yeah, that's how I approach it.
And then you talked about it already a little bit, but you're taking a leadership role at QB1. How have Coach Harrell and JDB helped you through getting that mindset right in the offseason?
Yeah, I've just been going to them when I have questions. If I need advice or anything like that, I can go to them because they're obviously leading our team too. So just trying to take as much as I can from them, and they put me in positions too to lead. They put me in the front. They do stuff like that to put me in position to lead. So I just got to take full advantage of that, and I feel like I've learned a lot over this spring and summer.
Has there been anything you've worked on specifically that you've honed in on, trying to get better at? I mean, I know you're recovering from an injury, so I had that as well.
Yeah, recovering from the injury, obviously, and then for me, it's just being consistent. I feel like last year I had some good games, I had some bad games. My whole thought process throughout this whole camp was just trying to be as consistent as possible, not turn the ball over, putting the ball in play, and just being the same guy day in and day out.
And then, we're still 2 weeks from the season, but it's creeping up on us. Is there any expectations for you or for the team as a season?
Yeah, it's flown by, but we're not going to look too far ahead. We're just going to focus on the day-to-day, and the rest will take care of itself. But, I mean, we're fired up to go play, so I can't wait.
I'm excited, too.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for talking to me.
Yes, go.
All right, Caton Hauser. There you go, Pilk. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff there from Caton Hauser. All right, Pilk, roll on this. Get it to our guy, Brad Durrett, if you will. East Carolina weight loss, back on it. Maybe you're frustrated with the trendy weight loss shots or diets or counting calories, prepackaged meals, bars or shakes. Well, there's a way you can reset your metabolism, and there's a way you can keep the weight off for good. The program at East Carolina Weight Loss has helped thousands of people lose 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. No expensive injections, no counting calories, no bad side effects, no surgery, none of that. None of that. Lost 60 pounds on it last year. Strayed, but I am back on it and down a dozen pounds here in the last few weeks. So we'll head back, get a in-office visit and weigh in, make it official coming up in the week ahead. You don't need to exercise, but you feel great, so you do go exercise. Even though there were waves crashing up on the dunes yesterday, Pilk. I got down there the last couple of days and got a little bit of a walk-in on the beach late in the day. A little more challenging yesterday. I almost drowned, Pilk, believe it or not.
Yeah, we don't want you floating away there, P-Man.
No, I almost did. But no exercising needed, although you'll feel so good you'll want to get around and move, get out and move around. No prepackaged meals, no bars, no shakes, no drugs, no surgery with the risk of serious side effects. The program, as I said, resets your metabolism, keeps the weight off for good. It's EastCarolinaWeightLoss.com, EastCarolinaWeightLoss.com. Tell them Patrick sent you, EastCarolinaWeightLoss.com, and 252-496-3610, 252-496-3610. Should we break now, Pilk? Should we take a break and make it a 4-segment thing?
We can, or we can be nice to Dom since he's got to get Taunton started up and give him 6 minutes instead of 3. Your call. Depends on how nice you want to be to Dom today.
I like Dom, but let's
Not
take a
that
break
much.
and we'll
All
come
right.
back and not that
Fair
much.
enough.
We'll come back and reset things for tomorrow here on the PJ Show.
Cash in your trade-in at Greenville Toyota. Get a huge offer when you trade. Then save big on a brand new Corolla, just $229 a month. Or get a Tacoma, just $319 a month. Secure your Toyota now at Greenville Toyota.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Turn your car into cash at Greenville Toyota. Cash in your trade-in today. Then get new Camry, just $249 a month. Or drive a new RAV4, $319 a month. At Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
All right. Sorry, Dom. I'm sorry. What can I say?
It's all right.
All right.
Get his blood. Get his. It'll make him go faster. His quick twitch muscles will be in effect.
I got you. Dom Kasulki will be producing the Jim Taunton Experience on, what is it, 103.7 is where that airs?
103.7.
Panthers will be on 103.7, 7 o'clock kick, final preseason game against the Steelers. And we'll join the pregame excitement of that matchup in progress. Is this one of those games, Pilk, that there'll be a lot of Steelers fans attending, even though it's preseason? Because they're one of the fan bases that travels quite well.
Well, they're a fan base that travels. They're a fan base that's also very prevalent in the Charlotte area. Now, I think there was a history in there where they used to always play the last preseason game against Pittsburgh. And so the Pittsburgh crowd has dwindled over the years because it would alternate home and away. So they came a lot. And it's the last game, not as many starters
Pittsburgh's
playing.
Not that far from Charlotte.
No, it's not.
I mean, you could get from that area and drive.
Now, when they come in the regular season, man, they might as well be playing Renegade in that place because it's all terrible towels. But preseason, like I said, there'll be a fair amount, but not as much as if it was an earlier preseason game, I think. With it being the last one, Thursday night, they come a lot in the preseason. It hurts it a little bit.
Before the guy at 99.9 The Fan got the afternoon job there, and before Scott Jackson, who took over for him, our buddy, took over in Norfolk, they were talking to me about that job. And one of the things they were talking about is they have, even though it's Redskins country, or was then Redskins country, the artist formerly knows it, they have a lot of Steelers fans there. I think they're just Steelers fans everywhere.
I think a lot of people became Steelers fans in the 70s because they didn't like the Cowboys, and they were always playing each other in the Super Bowl.
That's true. All right, thanks to Joe Giglio for being with us. Thanks to Pilk. We'll see you tomorrow. Chris Hughes will preview the high school football season, which gets underway with Week 1 tomorrow night. See you in the morning on Talk of the Town, and then back here for the PGA Show, fresh edition at 5 o'clock, then Rose Football on 94.3 The Game.